Well, hey there, how are you? Time to get to work on this podcast. I've been doing some thinking. I've been trying to think through some of the logistics of how to physically do a podcast. First and foremost, it's obvious to me that I've got to have a solid idea with a real plan, some type of a clear direction. I'm heading home right now. I'll show you what I've thought of so far and see if maybe you guys have some feedback or ideas how I can make it even better. Okay, back home, and I want to show you a couple things that I've come up with in terms of putting together this new podcast. So the way my brain works, I can't just sit down and talk about something. I have to have a name. I have to have a brand. I have to have an idea of what this thing is even about. I've done a little bit of work in that regard, and I want to get your thoughts on this. Now, one thing you may or may not know about me is that most of my professional adult life, I have worked in offices, call centers, back office operation centers. Large chunk of that time has been in some type of management role. Team lead, supervisor. I've been in leadership roles most of my working life. As much as I've always enjoyed this, the creativity, the making things, making videos, I have to be honest and acknowledge that professionally, what I've always been good at is leading and training and developing employees so that they can be the best at what they do. Now, if I'm looking for something that I can grow into an actual business, only makes sense that it be around something where I actually know what I'm talking about. There are some real basic fundamentals when it comes to successfully and effectively leading people in a work environment. Not every work environment is the same. The day-to-day functions of someone like myself in an office are going to be different than perhaps a warehouse foreman. But the fundamentals behind successfully leading people to not only be good at their job, be productive in what they do, but who actually want to come to work every day and are happy to work for a person who has earned their respect. As it stands right now, the working title for this podcast will be Think Deeper. For the moment, I believe the working subtitle is to be more effective, but I gotta work on that. It's not 100% perfect just yet. I worry that having a name and a title that's too long and too wordy, be a more effective leader, may or may not be effective itself. I'm also one that needs a freaking logo. It's like stupid that I think about a name and a tagline and branding and a logo before I even think about the content, but guys, this is who I am and this is what I do. That in mind, here's what I came up with. The most important thing for me was making sure that I was using an image that fell within the Creative Commons open type of license. The last thing I want to do is put together something that could potentially be out there making money for me, only to find out that the brand logo I chose, I don't have the rights to use. So did a bunch of searching, a lot of thinking, a little bit of creative graphic arts, and here's what I came up with. Tell me what you think. I think it's simple enough. I think it conveys the message that I am talking to those bosses, those supervisors, those managers, those leaders. But I'd love to get your perspective. Tell me below anything different that you would do, any edits or suggestions on that title, on that color, on that approach. I want to hear everything and anything. So I'll be back in a couple of days to show you my progress up to that point. And of course, as always, thanks so much for watching. We'll see you on the road.